my intro.
Yeah, you're not pisses me off.
Right.
Like straight into it.
Even though this little bit will clearly go in the intro.
No, it won't. It'll go at the end. It'll go at the end.
Okay. What really pisses me off, Jay? Jay, something's pissed me off.
What?
For quite a while now, for a little bit. Since January.
Go on. What
My
is it?
birthday now. Right, so, as you may know, Liverpool signed Luis Diaz.
Yes, they did.
Happened. Tottenham signed Dejan Kulusevski.
Right, yep. Mm-hmm. Two, unknowns, kind of, not superstars, not the biggest stars, just average.
Average is very
That's
harsh.
probably harsh, but you know what I mean?
Very harsh.
You know what I mean?
Tottenham, we obviously, I make no bones about it. We went in for Luis Diaz. That pushed Liverpool to sign him earlier than they would like.
Yep.
They have more pulling power than Tottenham. All this is fine. But I've seen a lot in the media, Jay, about this transformative signing, Luis Diaz, who has come into Liverpool like he was born and bred in Anfield, in the centre circle, and he emerged like a blooming tulip, and has just like he's the best player ever.
Yeah, you're annoying. It's annoying me now.
and you've sent me this ESPN post, £75 million for Konate and Díaz. What a bargain! As if Norwich are sat there going, we could have spent 80 million and got the deal. God damn it, boys.
That was ridiculous. I know today's market's insane, but you don't go, oh my god, what a deal!
What a time!
And that's the problem right there. And that's where I know.
It's one Kai Havertz.
Yeah, it's one Kai Havertz. Not a deal. Nah, he's great. But that's the problem right there. It is this perception of not even the money, the perception that Díaz is come in and he is the guy and he's the greatest. And your problem is...
My problem is, Jay, Díaz has 2 Premier League goals. And how many Premier League... I know you know these stats because you also have them written down. But how many... Let me tell you how many Premier League assists he has, Jay. It's 0. It's 0 Premier League assists and 2 goals. Dejan Kulusevski, Jay.
Yep.
3 Premier League goals.
Mm-hmm.
And six Premier League assists. But not only that, obviously Liverpool are a better team than Tottenham. I'm not denying that. But Dejan Kulusevski has come into a team that, well, let's be honest, still has its ups and downs, as we will talk about Brighton later, but has just slotted straight into a side, made us the most prolific front three. Not made us, but in this year we're the most prolific front three, which is weird.
Yeah, it's mad.
In Europe.
I mean, there was that game the other day. Was it Kane didn't score? And it was
So against Villa, Kane didn't have a shot on target.
Yeah.
Son got a hat trick. Did Kulusevski got the I think it was the second, but the fourth of those goals. But he's come straight in, Jay, and I'll be honest with you, he's been an absolute revelation. And I don't hate Díaz. I'm not. I'm not hating on him, but it's this Liverpool thing, isn't it?
This is the problem.
They're like, oh look what they've done,
and it's not just that, because of course Liverpool fans are going to be like, look at this guy's brilliant. It's the media. What the hell? Like, when you told me about this, because obviously I didn't even know about Kulusevski being this good. Like, he's come in, he's been so good for your you've missed him, a player like him, since Eric.
Absolutely.
But I didn't even realise the impact that he had, because the media's feeding me that Díaz fucking.
You're swallowing it. You're a little spoon.
I don't like that.
But there's an edit there. And there's, of course, we haven't even mentioned perhaps the most surprising stat. And if you know this at home, well done. You know this at home. Jay didn't know this, and I don't blame Jay for not knowing this, because again, it's not covered. Luis Diaz, good player, 25. Still young. He's younger than me.
That's sad.
That's depressing.
I'm 25, so yeah.
Dejan is a month older than Philip Henry J. Foden.
That's definitely not his actual name.
It's not his name. But Phil Foden.
It could be, though.
Phil Foden is a month younger than Kulusevski. There.
And Philip, God's sake, Philip Foden. But Phil is like the young rising star. Yeah, and I mean, that's a stat we haven't even looked at, though. But what's their goal in assist comparison right now? So he's got 11 goals and 9 assists, so it's not really comparative. Okay,
we weirdly researching Foden stuff. Obviously, Foden's done more in a longer space of time in a world-class City side under one of the best managers in the game. But still, it's comparable. Comparable. Dejan Kulusevski.
The age thing is correct. I couldn't believe that when you told me.
He's a ginger boy. I love him. He's great. We're not even mentioning the win-win. Like, we were mocked Juventus have shipped off 2 pieces of dead wood just so they can like cover the cost of a star striker. I think Vlahovic is going to be great.
Yeah,
but he hasn't hit the ground running.
He did, then he slowed down.
Yeah, he slowed down a little bit, but that's fine.
But you've gained this very valuable piece to your puzzle.
We haven't even, and we're not going to speak about him because we don't have time. But Bentancur,
I mean, yeah, I've not too much of him.
Slotted straight into the midfield, needed with Oliver Skipp being out for the season. Well, pretty much out for the season. I don't know what's wrong with him. He keeps like breaking, but
I think if I want to play devil's advocate, I don't really want to, but I feel like it's right to do this on the video. I think the thing you would say about Díaz is he isn't coming in to be the starter. He is coming in to be a rotation player because they've already got a very established front three.
Someone's leaving this summer, aren't they?
Absolutely, but like right now, I'm saying like the impact he's having right now.
You were very interesting. You made a point with me on Twitter yesterday, and I thought I made a really good point back. Because I'm quite excited about, and this is a bit of a tangent, I'm quite excited about the prospect of Tottenham getting Bale and Eriksen back. And Joe was like, whoa, man, what are you doing? You've got all these attackers. And it's like, well, no, the top teams do have that now. City have, I might get this, Foden, Sterling, Mahrez, Silva, Jesus.
Yeah.
That's 5 solid attacking players. Liverpool have Jota, Mane, Salah, Firmino, Diaz. If you're going into a season with Kane, Son, Kulusevski, Bale, and either Moura or Bergwijn, one should probably go, and they are definitely 4th choice.
Yeah.
You're looking at a team that should, under Conte, should probably won't,
and
be competing with.
And if you do get Euro this year, which is something we'll move on to a bit later, you absolutely need that. Absolutely not. My point was more like they don't get into the first team, them two. They're rotation players.
They do in some games though.
Oh yeah, of course.
Especially Eriksen.
Especially with Conte. Conte likes his first 11.
Have you seen what he's done to Brentford, mate? They've won 5.
You see what they did to me?
I know you've seen it firsthand. There's like flashbacks happening. But yeah, no.
I saw that.
Eriksen's transformed Brentford. The winner yesterday comes from pinpoint delivery, breaking the lines, working on stubborn defences that are coached by Roy Hodgson because his balls are so accurate they can put them straight on Pontus Jansson's stupid head.
Yeah, and Conte would happily have him back, wouldn't he? But I think my final point to this part of the video would be this is exactly the reason why Tottenham must trust Conte in the summer. Absolutely. And I know will he get the money, will he get that? But they've trusted him with 2 simple players in January and it's changed the squad.
And Paratici as well, because I think if you were also, it would be very harsh. This was before Conte. I'm not going to go on about it. You can't overlook Romero. He's made some howlers. Yep. Brian Hill, not sure about it.
Yeah.
But, Romero, Kulusevski, Bentancur, how many teams in a season make 3 signings
that
just glue into your squad and make it look better?
And it's rare. And Conte will know what he wants, and if Tottenham don't give it to him, you're idiots.
He will walk, and we will get.
He will leave, and he will sue your club, and it'll be a nightmare, right? So let's
right. So we're going to move on to the FA Cup now, and we'll start off with Liverpool City because that was the first game, and even though we said we couldn't really be bothered with that because we just had the league drama, but it's an interesting sort of like City Liverpool love in here because this is more credit to Liverpool because they battered City.
Yeah.
And history has already, it's only been a few days, history is already looking back at that game as a thrilling 3-2 that could have swung either way. And yes, I know that City could have had a few more chances, but Liverpool battered them. Mm-hmm. And there was stupid mistakes from City who, Zach Steffen, poor guy, but that's what happens if you play your cup keeper against, if you're in the FA Cup games against Brentford and Sheffield Wednesday, and that's fair. But when you're in a semi-final against Liverpool and you play Zach Steffen, these things happen. And fans pay good money to go to Wembley from Manchester and
on the coach,
and it's a weird one. And
I think
Liverpool battered them. It wasn't a close game. Liverpool, obviously, City have enough quality to get back into that game, but it wasn't a 3-2 like swinging either way.
Yeah,
it was City
nothing like
crawling back.
Nothing like the other game. The other game was exactly that, the back and forth. This game was a quite surprising battering from Liverpool. I think just Pep got it wrong, to be honest. I think obviously Liverpool were good and they played pretty much their strongest squad.
I loved Mane's goal.
Oh, like that.
Just the assist.
It was a great goal. But anyway, I think Pep got it wrong because he rested players. He knew that he'd had a tough week playing in Atletico Liverpool,
which is fair enough.
Which makes sense, but Klopp knew that he couldn't do that, and he couldn't, risk swapping some players out. He went with a strong side, and I think most of the errors came from players that hadn't been playing much. Like
Zinchenko.
Did
you know that when he headed it back and Salah almost chipped it?
Yeah.
For 10 minutes, I thought that was a goal. I was working at the time, so I saw it sort of bounce in the net, and I was like, "Oh, it's 4-1."
Yeah. So to be fair, I thought it went in. I just think Pep unfortunately got it wrong. And then in the second half, you saw a little bit of a change, but it weren't enough to come back in eventually, obviously.
Imagine if they had Harry Kane instead of Grealish there.
I mean, Grealish got the goal. It's pretty harsh on Grealish, isn't it?
Yeah.
but
Harry Kane gets two.
That game, and then Liverpool are now into the FA Cup final. They're now into the FA Cup final. They are talking about the quadruple, which just really
and only one horrible team can stop them getting the quadruple. So yeah, I'm all for the Liverpool quadruple now.
Well, yeah, we won against Palace in one of probably the worst semi-cup finals that you will ever see. It was quite. I mean, listen, you could see that this game came after such a tiring effort in the Champions League because we were slow, lethargic, and just weren't at us. And I think we were quite lucky. I think Jamie was quite lucky that Palace didn't take the chances, didn't create as many, and also didn't look as up for it as they was. I thought they would be because massive occasion for Palace. I thought they'd be up for it, and they just wasn't. And we got lucky, a little bit of quality.
They weren't not up for that. That's hard.
No, I mean
that's hard.
No, like the fans were and the team were, but not as much. If they were like really up for it, they could have
to hold on for that long.
No,
don't forget
but they didn't really test the keeper.
I can't believe I'm about to semi-agree with Arsenal Fan TV.
Oh, here we go.
Which is upsetting.
But
bad. I'm sick of lone players not being able to play against their parent club. They do it. No one had a problem when Coutinho helped demolish Barcelona with 2 goals when he was on loan at Bayern.
I mean, it's happened to us in the past. Courtois played against us when he was our keeper and had to put a great performance.
He did, but I don't think anyone have an issue with it. I just think it needs to change because if you take the main creative spark out of that team in Conor Gallagher,
I feel bad for Gallagher.
They're gonna struggle. And
I feel bad for him.
It is weird because. Sorry. I got an alarm set for some reason. Why is your alarm that? I just need to wake up sometimes. I need to be alert. Anyway, fuck me. Palace. No, to get again, I get it, but also it is so cruel that Conor Gallagher can't play that game and bring what he brings to that team. And I understand why it can't happen, but it's weird that he can play any other team in a semi. Maybe if it was just cup competitions, maybe not in the league. I don't know.
Yeah,
but something's not right there because obviously, if you just suddenly said to you, "Oh, no, because you bought Havertz, but that's because you can afford to spend 75 million on Havertz." It's almost like a poor tax because Palace couldn't afford and won't be able to get Gallagher from you, so therefore he can't play.
Yeah, and also loaning, he is a Palace player right now. He's not a Chelsea. He's a Palace player. He's wearing the Palace colours. He should be able to play.
It's difficult.
And he's helped him get to that point as well. I'm not against it. I feel bad for him as well because he's a great prospect for us.
You may still have won, but when it got to the 60th minute, I was thinking Palace are a Gallagher away from taking from being in the lead in this game. And there was a moment where I thought Gueye was going to score from a corner. Kanate actually rose first, and that corner, I bet you're.
Oh mate, yeah. It wasn't the best game from us. I think we did. There was a slight element of luck, and there was also just a small bit of quality from the Cobham boys, of course. Ruben Loftus-Cheek, great goal, first goal since 2019, which is mad. I mean, he hasn't played for us in 2 of those.
I mean, he was a Palace boy, wasn't he?
He was, and he really celebrated.
He celebrated they did something to him when he was an eagle attacked that mascot, pecked.
And then
the boy
Mason getting a goal at Wembley, which was good. And we're into the final, a rematch of the League Cup final. It's going to be horrible. I really hope we can get some sort of revenge. Every game against Liverpool this season, it hasn't been a battering. It's been a very close game, every single one. I mean, the League Cup, I think we should have won. There was some dodgy decisions in that game.
It's the worst thing you could face there because you've got a bit of a weird, a bit like Tottenham. You have a bit of a weird mental hold over City where you don't fear them that much.
But this season, I don't think we've ever feared Liverpool. In the league, both times was a draw. We've come up against them in the League Cup final, of course, and that went to a Kepa missed kick. But the only thing that defined the two teams, other than the dodgy decisions, was Kepa's terrible penalty. I don't think there's much in this. I think the Chelsea players will really be up for it. I mean, the narrative is set already. Go get your revenge for the last time. Hopefully, it's a good game, but I'm not looking forward to it.
Come on, Liverpool.
We need to stop them shit houses winning a quadruple.
Right, we don't have that long left. We're trying to keep these relatively 20 minutes, so we're going to quickly whiz through the league. Tottenham, I posted this on Twitter. The great top 4 banter race of a few years ago. No one wanting that 4th spot. It's happening again. For Tottenham to have the early kickoff, I watched that game. We were lacklustre. We were poor. From being the most prolific attacking side in Europe for the year. To then put that display against Brighton, we didn't have a shot after the 56th minute. Then the next shot came from Bergwijn trying to outside the foot it and it almost going out for a throw-in. It was a dreadful, dreadful performance.
Why? I don't understand how.
I don't know. I think Brighton are well drilled. You have to give them credit for that. It's no excuse for what we did. Brighton have now become the only ever team to win consecutively away at Arsenal and Tottenham, other than
us.
Hull.
Oh,
Don't know why, but that's a thing.
I knew it was going to be someone weird.
But yeah, so it's one of those weird things. Like Basuma was great. Kulusevski should have been sent off, saying all the things we said about him in that game. He threw an elbow. I think he should have got a red.
Yeah.
I also think Mwepu should have got a red. He was there was the first challenge which got him a yellow, and then the ref had to warn him 3 times. And I think, I don't think any of them were particularly malicious, but I do think that,
warning someone 3 times.
It's a bit much. So
you're pushed into the boundaries of, okay, you've had your 3 warnings, mate.
Yeah.
You get 3 warnings at school.
But I mean, 3 in jail for life in America.
Exactly. It depends what you do. I was going to just say the Trossard goal was beautiful though. Anyway,
he did a little feint outside the foot,
and then outside the foot. I mean, it wasn't proper. I'm not going to say that he should have saved it because he shouldn't have. But it was beautiful.
It was good. Well, the defence was sold. I'm not going to slag them off, but they were sold down the river.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's amazing how much we miss Matt Doherty. I hate you, Matty Cash. I hate you.
Mad,
I can't believe how much we missed that.
We used to banter him so much before. He was a terrible signing. I thought he'd be a good signing. And I remember when Nuno came in, I was like, he's back. And then it's Conte's gone, no, I will take care of this. I will sort out. And then now you're missing him. Who plays there now, sorry?
It's Emerson Royale, who I'm not convinced is a footballer.
He's been shy, hasn't he?
Bless him. He seems like an alright guy. Posting weird videos and just doing weird things and training, like little spider legs and Anyway, so yeah, Tottenham lose. There's a great video online. It's all the Arsenal fans that I think they're in the Emirates before the match. They're watching the Tottenham final few minutes. And they're all like, Arsenal, Arsenal. And they're like, come in, yeah. They're like, Tottenham lose. And they're like, yeah, come on. Top 4's back in our hands, lads. Let's go. Come on. And then they go out and they lose to Jan Bednarak. So
it's almost not a surprise.
Yeah.
It's almost not a surprise. When I saw you guys lose, I thought, you know what, Arsenal, they're gonna lose, aren't they? They're gonna lose 1-0 or something. So it would. I should have put a bet on it.
I thought they would. I didn't know. I wouldn't say I thought they were going to lose. But
we slapped Saints up 6-0.
Yeah, I looked at that game there and I went, there's a chance here. There's a chance that we might get away with this.
Yeah.
And that's my instant thought. Like, we could get away. I wouldn't have said Bednarak, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, don't think many people would have, to be fair.
But and then United, have now got themselves back in the top 4 conversation by, let's be frank, relying on one of the greatest players to ever play the game to scrape past Norwich. Yeah. Norwich. Did you see that moment where the ball gets past De Gea and he just has to get rid of it? He's no. And then he had to pull off a few decent saves. Norwich had a few really good chances. They scored 2. To come back, Norwich as well, bottom of the league, all seasons, just struggling. To let them to go 2-0 up and let Norwich come back. I would be very surprised if that's happened in the league this season. Norwich come back from a 2-goal deficit.
Don't think so.
I'd be very surprised. And it's just so poor. I like the guy when he plays for England, but from Maguire again, it was poor.
Their whole defence, well, Maguire stand out, but the whole defensive line is a shambles.
You've seen the free kick, yeah?
Yeah.
Krul's got to be saving that.
Yeah. I mean,
any other team in the league, I think that free kick gets parried away. It's not a good free kick at all.
And it's not as hard as it needs to be.
So yet again, United do get away with it. They're back in the conversation, but I'm not convinced. So
no, not at all.
I still think the percentages have been worked out. I think Tottenham's is like 45%. Arsenal's is like 20%, United's got like 7%, and West Ham are like 1%. Or I know that doesn't add up. Please don't do the maths, but it was something like that.
Yeah.
So I do think it's still in Tottenham hands. The only time I will be putting my Chelsea hat on is when you play them in a few weeks.
United? We play Arsenal tomorrow, I think.
You play Arsenal tomorrow?
It's either tomorrow or Wednesday.
Well, let's talk about that at some point.
That's the end of the video.
That is kind of the end of the video, Jay. But I just like adding a few things at the end.
Go on.
Ben Mee on the touchline for Burnley this week. Did you see that?
Yeah, that was...
I enjoyed that. We're going to talk about Sean Dyche later on in the week, actually, because we've got a very upset Burnley fan that we know. I want to talk about Bruno Guimaraes changing the game. Like, just quickly changing the game, beating Leicester. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I saw Kristen Hennig, very, very good football media man, tweeting the thing about Bruno is his vision and his elegance on the ball. And then I watched his first goal. I was like, what?
The goal was a shambles.
The second goal, absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. The first goal was an absolute shambles, wasn't it, from Leicester? But it's mad what's happened at Newcastle, how just completely turned around it has been.
Final point. Do you think West Ham can win the Europa League, Jay?
They got Frankfurt.
No issue with Frankfurt. I've been Josh.
I'm Jay.
And we're doing these more regularly.
We are every single Monday. Every single Monday. You know what we didn't say last time?
What?
We didn't even say the thing last time.
That
is weird. That is horrible. Tell your dads. I can't believe we missed that. Bullshit, man. Bullshit. Not happy. Not happy, Josh.